Well, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the Daily Dose. My name is Spencer Osborn, and I have the privilege of being the pastor of the high school ministry at our Fallbrook campus. And today, I want to dive into what it looks like to have joy in every season and in every circumstance. Now, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, we see Solomon sharing some wisdom where he's saying there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. And you and I both know that there is certainly a time for everything in life. There's a lot of different seasons that we go through. We can go through seasons of plenty and seasons of not a whole lot at all. We can go through really good seasons and then seasons of brokenness. But in the midst of that and in the midst of all these different seasons and circumstances of life, what does your joy look like? Maybe a better question to ask is, what is the singular greatest source of your joy in life? I always turn to Paul because I feel like Paul had a great perspective when it came to what it looks like to have joy in every season and in every circumstance. And the best example of that, I think, is in his letter to the Philippians. Because when we consider that Philippians was written from a prison cell, and yet we can see that joy is all over the letters to the Philippians, it causes us to question, what is that source of joy that Paul is able to hold on to in the midst of circumstances that are outside of his control, in the midst of a season that we would deem to be pretty poor? He's in prison. And yet this is what he has to say in Philippians chapter 4, 4-5. He says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." Now, despite the circumstance from which it was written, again, we see joy all over Paul's letter to the Philippians. And it's because Paul's joy wasn't based in sunny optimism or positive mental attitude as much as it was in the confidence that God is in control. In every season and in every circumstance, God is in control. It really is joy in the Lord. Paul was not finding joy in his circumstances. He wasn't finding joy in his material possessions, in what he had and what he didn't have. Paul wasn't finding joy in life going the way that he wanted it to. He was simply finding joy in the fact that God is in control. That's what it looks like to have joy in the Lord. I love what Jerry Bridges has to say in his book, The Practice of Godliness. Listen to this. He says, Paul and James both say that we should rejoice in our trials because of their beneficial results. It is not the adversity considered in itself that is to be the ground of our joy. Rather, it is the expectation of the results, the development of our character that should cause us to rejoice even in adversity. God does not ask us to rejoice because we have lost our job, or a loved one has been stricken with cancer, or a child has been born with an incurable birth defect. But he does tell us to rejoice because we believe he is in control in those circumstances and is at work through them for our ultimate good. Joy isn't found in the absence of suffering. Joy isn't found in the absence of trials. Joy is simply found in the presence of the Lord. And so whatever season and circumstance you're in right now, I want to ask, where are you finding your joy? On a day-to-day basis, what is the singular greatest source of your joy? Because for as long as we are seeking joy in things of this world, that joy will be temporary. That contentment and that happiness will be temporary. But instead, how can we refocus ourselves to take a step toward the Father and simply find joy in the knowledge of the truth of knowing that he is sovereign and in control? I hope that that can be an encouragement to you today and that you join us again tomorrow.